today.
Great to be here.
So lovely to see you.
Thank you.
So basically today's a little chat with you about your wonderful career you've had, and get to know you and let everyone else out there get to know you and what you're up to and what you're about. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I previously had a business and lived in Auckland for a very long time, and loved it. Really loved the vibe of Auckland and all that's possible. Moved out for a couple of years and lived in Taupo, tried the Taupo sort of scene and area. That wasn't quite right, so back into Auckland again, just very briefly with a rural property, and then we decided that we'd build down in Omakara, which is very close to Tauranga. So the Tauranga is the main centre, and we love it. We love it there. So yeah, I love my garden, and I've got a motorhome that my husband's not so keen on, so usually I go away with a friend, or I can sometimes persuade him to go away for an overnight, a couple of overnights. And yeah, I took the grandchildren away last week and they absolutely loved that. So yeah, it's sort of my life, and very business focused. My life has been very business focused. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And how did you get into hairdressing? How did you start your hairdressing career?
Oh my goodness, that's a long time ago.
All right.
No, that casts my mind back. So yeah, I started shampooing, you know, as we perhaps most of us do at 14. So, and then a couple of years of that, and the salon where I was shampooing changed ownership, and that guy needed an apprentice, and I really was leaving school and thought, oh, that'd be fun. So I did that, and indeed it was so much fun, and it really laid the groundwork for me to always expect to have fun at work. So I did my apprenticeship and left when I was 20, went into my first business back in the UK.
At 20?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was
entrepreneur back then.
Yeah. I've worked for myself, and ever since, up until 2016 when I sold my Auckland business, and happily, you know, I mean, you guys all know what it's like to just sort of weave your own way in life and make your choices, and yeah, and I've worked more recently in another salon briefly, but that just reminded me that I really like to be self-employed. I really like working for myself. So yeah, a few years ago, after selling the business, I just thought, oh, I'm going to walk away from hairdressing. I've had enough now. Sort of in my early 50s, and just thought, that's it for me. I had taken on organic colour systems actually as one of my last ditch sort of efforts to sort of still be in love with the business, with the industry, and I really loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved
So
it.
it kind of lit that fire again a little bit.
It did, but it was brief, unfortunately. But it definitely aligned with my values at the time. That was something that I found. I had been previously using Matrix and had done for a lot of years, and I found myself in the house one day, and I reduced the chemical exposure in my house a bit, and my makeup and cleaning products, and I went to work and I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
The penny dropped, and I just went, I need to do something here. And when it drops, you can't, go back. So yeah, that was when I put on the page, the New Zealand page, and I don't know whether it was you or whoever it was that had said, try organic colour systems, and that was the start of, that was 2015. So
wow, okay.
yeah, and I just sold the business, and I went to have a year with Wendy.
Yes,
Down in
Taupo.
Taupo.
Hi, Wendy.
So yeah, I had a year working part time with Wendy, which was fabulous, and that just went travelling after that. Went over to the UK for 6 months, and just had some time just house sitting, travelling around Europe, and much needed little press pause, and it brought me back to New Zealand, where I just worked outside of the industry for a while, crewing on a boat, doing marketing and sales and all sorts of things down in Taupo. And then back in Auckland, I found myself receptionist in a beauty salon, and then I worked for a hairdressing beauty suppliers, just part-time. And all of these experiences really were very interesting, because what I found that they were all small businesses owned by the people that worked in them as well too. And they're just the management of their people and the way in which they were able to just really run a really good, solid, sort of heart-centered, I often use the word heart-centered business. Just didn't quite feel, I didn't feel it anyway, that's really, and so back to self-employment. And there was a time when I did some life coaching qualifications, and I just sort of talked to myself one day and was just like, so what do you want your life to look like?
Yeah.
And that was really when I started to go, well, there were certain things that I still love. I had an experience, and I think I've shared this with you. I was living northwest rural Auckland, and somebody put on the Facebook page, anybody can do a haircut in my place. I don't know, I could do that. So, and this woman was so thrilled with the cut, and then what I said to her afterwards, and she just turned around and looked at me and she said, oh my God, Chrissy, why has nobody ever told me that before? And in that moment, my heart just went boom. And I just had this real sort of connection with, wow, there's something here, Chrissy, that you do effortlessly, that somebody is feeling.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where and that's the way I work. I feel my way and what feels right and aligns with my values. I have to find joy in my work, because that's what had stopped when I sold my business.
That was another question I had, is like, how has hairdressing changed over the past few years in your opinion? Like, I feel it has changed, and that moment for you would have been a catalyst maybe to witnessing that change.
It was a bit scary, I have to say.
Yeah.
It was a bit scary. I had the support of my husband, and he, said, no, well, and it took a step into the abyss. That was what it felt like, because I was leaving everything that was known, that was easy, a massive client base of over 20 years. So I'd got to the point where I just knew I had to change something, as I wasn't going to be the best hairdresser I could be for my clients. So, and then of course, either more of the sort of, I'd always done business very much word of mouth and reputation, and that was, things were starting to change there as well too. So I still work from that space. But just the industry, it's been the same for a very long time, hasn't it? And that's sort of got me thinking. That experience with that lady, what is it, Chrissy, that you love? What inspires and excites you? And it was always about delivering really good customer service. I was always very client-centric. And so over a period of time, looking at the industry, looking what clients wanted. There's the thing, We always often work from the point of view of what we want.
Yeah.
You see lots of questions in the forums and these bloody clients.
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. But you know what? We are in the service industry, and we are here to serve.
We are, absolutely.
So my then question, having stepped back from my business and being in it, was, well, how best can I serve? What can I do to serve clients well? And so coupling that experience with that lady, and that was the first penny dropping, and then just gently things seemed to unfold and just reveal themselves to me, if you like, is the way I like to put it. And I realised that clients, when they come in, even if it's a new client, even if it's a client you've been seeing for quite a long time, sometimes there's not enough time to talk. And most women feel connected to you more so when you've talked to them, when you've listened to what they've had to say, asked them what's working, what's not working. what can I do to help you with that?
Mm.
So that was the catalyst. Those sorts of questions were the catalyst for me to really sort of think outside the square a little bit. And over time, it became obvious, and it was a very organic process. You know, I spoke with Vicky. I had my sort of what I thought and I talked to Vicky about it, and we had coffee, and she put up some good points, and I was like, yeah. So that's where Your Hair Coach was my business that I then decided that I would move forward with, because coaching is a sort of a trendy thing anyway. So to put a coach in amongst the hair as well too, and make it yours, was quite pivotal for me to sort of anchor something that would be a different offering into the industry.
Yeah.
So to stand out as being a hairdresser that really focused on what the client needed, and the client needed to have more time to discuss what was concerning her, what maybe nobody in the past had ever really sort of stopped and questioned, or you know, just opening up space for us as experts and specialists that we are, to be able to showcase our talents and to be able to put forward and offer up solutions. So I built this this service. It originally started out as being what I called signature services. There was two. There was beautiful hair, confident you, because ultimately at the end of the day, what's the end result I wanted? I wanted my clients. I wanted clients per se to walk out feeling confident with what they could then achieve for themselves at home, because they had asked the questions, they'd got all their questions answered, and I'd shared with them all the tips and techniques that they might need to be successful at home, because obviously they felt amazing when they walk out normally, and then it's just like, oh yeah, but only the hairdresser can do that.
Yeah,
Actually,
you don't want them to feel that way.
And it elevates you, the hairdresser. It elevates you when people talk about you. Oh yeah, my hairdresser, you know, she told me how to do this. And the other beautiful thing too that really was very important to me was the way Organic Colour Systems works. The system.
And how that fits into your business.
The system was very much the basis for this new service. We've just rebranded it. Actually, I've been, you know, doing a little bit of business coaching and stuff. We've rebranded it to Beautiful You Hair Experience.
Okay.
So we start off, we come in, holistic consultation, the client comes in, sits down, we just build rapport. She gets to tell me everything that's on her mind about her hair. Sometimes it's just, I offer it up as a service that, like, you might love your hairdresser ordinarily, but you might want another perspective, you might want a second opinion. So that's open to those people too, but ultimately it's a great way in which you can really gain a new client's loyalty very, very quickly, because she's spent this time with you, you've invested in her, she's invested in you, and the answers that you've given, the solutions that you've provided, she's like very keen about. So we start with a holistic consultation. It's a process that we work through. Then we go to the hair analysis, of course, hair detox, deep conditioning treatment. So it showcases the product very beautifully, and one of the services does actually build in the shampoo, the conditioner, and the treatment that particular client's hair may require. So immediately you've got that client thinking differently about their hair. And of course, you know, I mean, everybody knows that clients love that our point of difference is the wet stretch test. And the products are there to support you. They're right there, and you just put them in front of them. That's all you have to do. You know, it's just stuff we already know. Yeah. But because we are really listening, we're listening with our whole body. You know, not just part of us. We're actually really listening to what's going on for that client. She then, after you've completed, you may add on a cut. A cut's always an add-on, and then you either do a beautiful style blow away for them to walk out, or you do a more of an education session and teach them a little bit about what their hair might need and product placement.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many ways in which you can shine.
It just sounds like it's something that we should be doing anyway, really, isn't it?
I know, and
but
some
time
people,
is
yes,
a factor.
it's the time. This is the key,
Mm.
Bridgette. Thank you for bringing that up, because you know it's what we want to do, but it's not costed. It's not put into our price menu, and there's very few people that would go, well, actually, it's going to be $50 for your half-an-hour consultation. And they go, no, it's okay.
But they don't know what they're getting in that consultation.
Exactly, but with the Beautiful You Hair experience, you see, they're getting this whole long list of things that if you price them individually, you know, you're looking at maybe a $350 experience, but you know, we're sort of, it's much less than that. So, and I've found over the 18 months that I've been doing this service, the reviews have been outstanding. They're all 5-star reviews that people, and they're so grateful. To have this service to be accessible to them.
So I know that this has developed into something a little bit more than working with clients. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this is also something that I'm offering up as a training opportunity. So my passion, I'm at the age and stage now where things seem a lot more obvious to me in terms of I've stepped back from the industry wholeheartedly and offering this up as a training opportunity to train other hairdressers, to train stylists in this service. And that might sound, well, why would you want to train them? Because I know how to do all that stuff. But it takes it to the next level. Holistically, we're talking a lot about energy, the way that your energy is when you sit with a client, the way the client feels affected. I mean, we all know how it feels if a client comes in a bad mood. We can feel it, can't we? So, and just, I talk about intuition, about how we make choices. I knew years ago, before I even, because my personal growth journey has just been since I was in my 30s, so I would go to my colour bar and I'd just go, just know intuitively almost the mix that I was looking for. And we talk about how to deepen that. We talk about the client, you know, what's important to her that you might be missing. We talk about you and how you can have an awareness of yourself in different ways. We talk about the service and how that looks when you walk through it with a client and ways in which you can shine. And I talk a lot about ensuring that you, the hairdresser, always remember that you are the expert. You know, most of us, 4 years training, you know, you think of other professions that are doing that, and you know, you really do have to shine as that specialist for her, because she's paying, you know, especially if she's having a colour work as well too, she's paying a significant amount of money. She's investing in that. She wants to know that she's going to look perfect for herself, and all the advice, skin tone and all the sorts of things that you automatically know and often don't communicate with her. But when she goes, she's talked about my skin tone and she's looked in my eyes and everything, and she's choosing the colour based on. We just do automatically. But telling her that you're doing it is she's like elevating you know, in the regard that the way she perceives you. And then we finish off with the training, and you're talking a lot about customer experience, what that customer experience, if that client will experience in her time with you, and how you can affect the way she walks out the door with her head held high, feeling absolutely nurtured, that she's being taken care of, appreciated, and you just willingly just books as soon as she goes up to the counter.
Now my team and myself have done this little course with Chrissy, and at the end of it, it really ignited a little fire in my belly personally. but I wish I'd done it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I wish this is something that could be done with the younger generation coming through. So this is an offering that you have.
I do,
obviously.
yeah.
So obviously tell them
how
how
yeah.
it all works.
Look, if it's something that feels like your business would benefit from, if it feels like something, if you just feel like being inspired again, you know, we just get a little bit flatlined sometimes, you know, doing the same thing with the same clients, and just something to elevate who you are as a person, as well as your business. Set your business aside as being a business that just goes that little bit further. There's nobody else doing it quite like this, as far as I know, offering a service, and often I've called it a pamper service. You know, if a client's going out for the evening and just wants to come for some, you know, an hour and a half or so of just pamper time, that's also a really good opportunity. But yeah, I'm just getting into the groove of 4 hairdressers trained, and I'd love to see the OCS. I'd love to see the community, because look, guys, this is created on what we believe in. It's created on the products that we love.
Yeah, it fits
the
in
products,
seamlessly.
the products inspired this.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I can bring this to you first and foremost over the rest of the industry, because I still believe, even although people may not be using OCS, I still believe it's a very workable, a very service that you can monetize and really shine with, and you can still do the wet stretch test.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, yeah, I'd like our guys to have access to
Well,
this.
I highly recommend it, because it made so much sense, and the way Chrissy, the way you facilitated the course with us was amazing. It was easy. It wasn't too time consuming. It was a lot of inward work, which I think was quite powerful for myself. I'm just speaking for myself, and yeah, I just loved it. It just it inspired me. As like, I can do this. And even if you're not giving that particular service, it's going to elevate every other service you do in the salon anyway, because you are working from a more intuitive place, which is pretty awesome.
You can apply those principles, and when I think about myself as that hairdresser that had got to the point where I just really needed to get out the industry, it's things like this that just keep you engaged, that just keep you inspired, that you work smarter and not harder, that you have the clients that you feel that work well, you know what I'm saying, those clients that are your clients, that resonate with you, and you serve them really beautifully, you know, with a completely rounded service. And
awesome. Chrissy, so tell us, what inspires you in your daily life and in your hobbies and everything? What gives you inspiration?
That's a really good question. As I mentioned before, a lifetime of self-employment has made me a bit too business focused, so working to just get some balance and make sure that I have that work-life balance, and we will talk about that, don't we? It's like the holy grail.
Yeah.
But so for me, I'm at that sort of, I don't work full-time, and I prefer to be able to, I love a beautiful home. We're built down in Umpqua, so loving that space, loving the community. It's a very like-minded community. When I say like-minded, you know, the sort of people that are looking to how can their health be the best, what foods, and just the whole spirituality and the mindset of just helping each other, really, being a community. I grew up in a village, and this community for me has been a little bit like that. So the thing that really gets me out of bed in the morning and keeps me moving forward in my business is, it's like a lot of you guys, helping people. It's making a difference. It's like, I want to have done something that has made a difference to each client, and that's always been my focus. Each client that leaves me, I would like to think that their time with me has meant that they are feeling better, or I've said something that was right, and it's the same, you know, for working with hairdressers as well too. Working with stylists is just like I would like somebody else to benefit from the wisdom and the knowledge and the experience, more importantly, that I have had, and the way in which I found that I feel that I've been successful. I just want to pass that on. I mean, it's just an innate thing that I have a desire to do. And the vehicle of the Your Hair Coach and the training and the way in which I can help and support clients, but also hairdressers as well too, is really important to me. It drives me. Other than that, the fun stuff I like to do. I mean, I learnt to ride a motorbike when I was 50. And we still go out. I don't have mine anymore, but we still go out, just get out and about with fresh air and just seeing things from a different perspective on the back of a bike. And I think you do too.
Yeah. Very free.
And that's fun. And of course, if I can get my husband in the motorhome, then we'll do some stuff there. And I've freed the time up, to do that. And that's really the key. Is all that's gone before. I've created this space that I can do the things. I designed my life. I mean, that was my coaching business, Life by Design. And, that's what I would like others to do. That's what I see, particularly for women who are so drawn and pulled in all different directions with different responsibilities. Is just being able to find that path that you feel calm with, that you feel, you're coherent, it's not to say that things don't come in for you that challenge you, but you can deal with them from a place of very centeredness, if you like. I know that's a bit of an overused term, but that's where I've reached now, and I feel that I've got something to offer in terms of how that might look.
Yeah. And being the entrepreneur you are, there's another little facet to your world that you've decided to take on and develop. So tell us about that.
So just recently, it's something that's been on my mind for quite a while actually, because I'm a little bit of I like variety. I like to mix it up a little bit, and again, I have the ability, the time to offer myself up as a relief hairdresser. So
don't we need those?
So I was in that situation. I used to go back to the UK for 6 weeks at a time, over a couple of years, and it was always a struggle trying to find somebody to come and look after my clients while I was away for 6 weeks. And I mean, we all need a holiday, and the thing that struck me was like, well, why would you be working really hard to get them all in before you went away, have maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then work equally hard when you got back, and think, oh, did I have a holiday? So this is just something that I feel is really important for the industry, to find somebody that you feel comfortable with, who obviously knows how the system and how Organic Colour Systems is as a brand, and what's important, and just know your clients are going to be taken care of, so that you can relax, that they're all keeping on
track.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really good opportunity if anyone watching needed someone to come and step in for a week or two if you were on holiday and you need someone to look after your salon and keep things flowing, and so that's a really good. So tell us, how does everyone get hold of you?
So my website is called yourhaircoach.co.nz, and all of my contact details are on there. Obviously I have a Facebook page that you could message me through as well, but that would be probably the best place to find me. Send me a message or give me a call. I'm often available to pick up that phone.
And obviously this is going to be posted on our community page, so I'm sure anyone can make comments on that as well, and you can get in touch that way as well.
Absolutely.
So is there anything else you want to share today? Is there
gosh, now I was a post the other day on social media. There's a couple of quotes or things that I really like, and that's one of the ones I live by, is never say never about anything. and then in the industry, my quote, the one that struck me, and I think this one as well too, is the Maya Angelou, which is I have learned that people will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will always remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely. Goosebumps.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Same.
And is there any particular book? I love getting recommended on books, inspirational books. I know I'm just throwing that one at you. But is there any book that you feel really inspired you or really helped you in creating that pathway for you to just design your life?
There's a lot, but there is one book that come to mind immediately. You said that. It's a book, I can't remember the title, but It's about working in business from a soul level, from a really heart-centered level, and it works through lots of different aspects of being in business for all the right reasons. So you can check in that you are still in business for all of your right reasons, rather than just chugging along because it's what you know, and that you can stop questioning yourself, asking yourself some questions, because honestly, I think the biggest thing for me, if there's one takeaway, is that if you're willing to feel slightly uncomfortable in life, then there is goodness out there for you. And I've found that after being comfortable in my little business for 20 odd years, and my whole life opened up in ways I couldn't predict. So yeah, being willing to feel uncomfortable is part of growth, part of life, and if you're there, it feels a bit wobbly.
Yeah, and it's scary.
Yeah,
it's very
totally.
scary. We've all been it. We're all in business, and
Totally.
it's scary.
But understanding yourself as much as you possibly can through all that, again, brings you back to heart, brings you back to centre, and you can trust your decisions in those wobbly times far more than if you're just completely out of your mind with worry and concern and stress. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh, Chrissy, it's been so lovely chatting
Thank
to
you.
you. It's gone so well. So yeah, we'll sign off for now, and hopefully everyone enjoys watching. So thanks everyone for coming along and
thanks for listening too.
Thanks for listening, and you know how to get in touch with Chrissy. I'll put some other contact information up as well, and if you can remember the name of the book, we'll put that up as well.
I'll let you know, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.